Prince Harry's book set to become, well, something of a bargain bin, well, favourite. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of Yorkshire. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're all keeping well. By the way, one thing that struck me and I wanted to share it with you, recently just had a beautiful Sunday lunch, right? You know what it's like, all the trimmings and all that sort of stuff. And you promise yourself, don't you, don't have the dessert. You know what I'm saying. You think, no, I've eaten enough, but then you see your favourite dessert on the menu and you think, well, should I? Now, I don't know about you, but for those people that have, say, from my part of the woods, as it were, you know, north of England, we like nothing more than jam roll or jammy roll and custard. Not quite sure what it's called, maybe jam sponge in some places. Also, do you remember those tins that they used to be made by Heinz? You put them in a pan for about 20 years and they bung around in hot water. Then eventually, if you were brave enough, you could try and prize one out of a tin. Do you remember? I know, showing my age now, aren't I? Anyway, basically what I was saying was jam sponge and custard, one of my favourite desserts. Love to know what yours is, genuinely, because, you know, everywhere around the world we have different things, don't we? You know, banoffee pie's quite nice. Another fattening one. I know I like all the fattening. That's the problem, isn't it, with a dessert? Shouldn't have them at all. A little bit like perhaps Prince Harry, who might be getting his just desserts upon the release. You love that pun there, don't you? Upon the release, of course, of his book, Spare. Now, a lot of people have been getting in touch with me, basically saying, you know, Neil, it's already a flop. You know, you can pick it up in certain bookstops like, you know, Waterstones and all sorts of things like that, airports. It's already been, you know, crashed down in price. Well, you know, this means, or does it mean, that of course the former royal known as Prince Harry won't be getting as much money? I want to explain exactly how this really works because it is truly interesting. Yes, if you're buying it online on big stores like Amazon and stuff like that, they already agree a bargain basement price because they agree to take so many on pre-order. So let's say they're taking, you know, 100,000. Well, they can then, you know, decide on the price that they wish to sell it for. Does this affect the royal in question? No, he gets his money regardless. And then the percentages of those sales are calculated and then given back to him. After all, he is the writer alongside the co-writer, the ghostwriter. Here's where it gets interesting though, because for Penguin Random House, it's rather tricky. As you now know, on the original press release, His Royal Highness as he was then, or still is, or whatever he wants to call himself, was basically saying that the profits from the book would be donated to some of his favourite charities. All very noble, all very kind, as I'm sure you'll totally agree. But if you look at the very sort of detailed word profits, now, there's a lot of things that have to go into a book, you know. They have to pay the ghostwriter, the sleeve design jacket person, although I can't imagine how tricky that would have been. Here's a picture, here's a title, but no doubt somebody would take a decent fee, you know. And then you've got all the things like the sleeve design inside, the lawyers going through everything. It all costs money. So while a lot of people, particularly in the Harry and Meghan camp, are saying, but you're missing the point, he's giving all of this money to charity from his book. Charity, as we often know, begins for many people at home. And more importantly, as I say, this particular volume of memoirs, and apparently there could be two, that's right, I bet you can't wait for that. Well, all that money comes after profit. So once Penguin Random House have totted up their costs, the costs of marketing, the costs of everything, hotel stays, you know, the filming of things, once all of that's totally been detailed up, then yes, there will be some profits, no doubt. A lot of people are saying this is going to be an international bestseller. Don't know about you, but I would think that's going to be rather tricky, simply because at £25 to £28 here in the United Kingdom, which some may sell for because people may want to get it the moment it comes out without the discounts. Yes, there could be some hefty profits, but it's a gamble. And clearly it's a gamble that his publisher and Prince Harry are willing to take. But as ever, will it be a loss to Harry? Absolutely not. He gets the money regardless. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.